Do you have someone visit, like who's going to watch you from somewhere else, far away, Armit? Okay. Yeah, because they were commenting, but it's exciting. We're global. All right. I think we're working.
I'm not on here.
Okay. Yeah, it says custom live streaming service. You want to, can I see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just had to refresh.
Okay.
And that's going to be very meta. Yep, I can see myself. All right, welcome everybody. And I want to say a big thank you to our home, the Community Church of Boston. This place is so beautifully air conditioned. Not that we don't miss out post 186 because it was like really fun energy there, but on a hot day like this, wow, am I glad that Suzanne did the hunting and did the liaison work to get this place, because it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's a great location. Most importantly, accessible. It is accessible. So if anyone has mobility issues, you can use, we've got a elevator. Yeah, an elevator. So, okay, if you're listening online, hi. If you can't hear us, just put us up to full volume, because this is a low tech sort of get up. Remember, please, to donate to our fundraiser. I haven't checked the totals today, but we're really hoping that after our operating costs, we can get to at least 1,000 for each organization, because abortion is a human right. We need to protect abortion access where it's available. Please also, if you're a Rhode Island resident, join the Women Project. The funds will go to the Eastern Massachusetts Abortion Fund and the Women Project of Rhode Island. You can go to bostonpoetrymarathon.com and click donate. That'll get you to the link. A reminder to readers, please don't lean in too far to the mic, just be right here. You have 7 minutes. Your 7 minutes starts as soon as you're talking. So anything you say, like introduction wise, whatever, that counts as part of your 7 minutes. The readers of this hour are Parmit Krasa, Christy Towers, our own organizer, Christina Liu, Jonathan Bennett Bonilla, Robbie Gamble. Is Mary Elizabeth Birnbaum here? Hi, Mary Elizabeth Birnbaum. And Summer Gale, who I just recruited. Yay. So our first reader of the hour, Parmit Krasa.
Thank you very much. So in 13th century, Persian writer Rumi told that what you seek is seeking you. And you can find such things in even the book Alchemist. But I don't agree with this. So that's why this is my poem, which has derived from the mathematical concept, which is based on normal distribution, that there will be few people who will be selected for negatively, for rejection, for poverty, for anything. So don't work so hard to achieve a goal. Life is beyond whatever you know. Nothing is permanent, nothing is pure, and someone has to die single, alone, and without goal. We all try for love, we all cry for love. Don't try so hard to change someone. Life is beyond whatever you know. Someone has to die single, alone, and without. Socrates got poisons for his knowledge. Mira got too, but for her pure love. And Mira was Indian princess, so she was forced to take the poison because she was in love. So knowledge and love, both are injurious to health. Life is beyond whatever you know. Someone has to die single, alone, and without gold. My second poem is also against the trend of the society, that nowadays we see that people drop the old partner and look for the young muscles. So here is, and because they believe that as we grow old, we are less romantic. And I think in reverse way. So here is my poem. Baby, as you grow old, I love your dimple. That means the aging enhancing the beauty of the dimple. As you come close, I love your wrinkles. Seeing your smile every morning, I feel we can still make it hot in coming winter. As you hold me, it ignites my spindle. As you twiddle with me, I love our tangle. You are the reason I don't want to die single. With you, I love to dwindle. My third poem is based on the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi. And his philosophy is that there is nothing like great work or bad work or a small work. So here is that poem. The intersection of 2 points is a line that can go in any direction till infinite. The intersection of 2 lines is a point which seems insignificant, but that allow you to change the direction because there is no meaning to being a parallel line. This short poem is based on Ghalib, who was a great sire, and we always believe that Ghalib was best when it comes to love and poetry. So in this, I imagine that Ghalib and I were interacting. So, hey Ghalib, what have you been writing on her beauty? Hey Ghalib, what have you been writing on her beauty? Whatever it is my heart. The whole world knows my pain. The whole world knows my pain and the reason for it, but only you are writing the medicine which can cure it. Hey Ghalib, I'm confused which path I should choose. I don't know, because whatever I'm choosing, you are writing her home on it. The last poem is on perfection. Every night I see the moon and the stars. Every night I feel how far you are. Every night I draw your smile on the paper, and every night I feel it is not as perfect as you are. My heart, my blood need you. My dreams, my desire need you. Every night I keep a pillow, imagining you are in my arms. Every night I feel it is not as perfect as you are. I can hold anyone, I can have anyone, but nothing is as perfect as you are. We live across the road, but every second I feel how far you are. Thank you very much.
What a great debut for Tarmit Rasa. Thank you so much. Christy Towers. We're nice and air conditioned, right, Christy?
Promise. And it's true. I'm gonna keep track of my time. So I don't know. I haven't been able to write in like 2 years, like probably many people. So I'd written this book before the pandemic, and then it got published this spring. So I'm just gonna read to you from my book. And again, I read the stores. Yeah. So exciting to like have a book. It's my first time. Yeah. So, yay, thank you. All right, so here's a poem about an octopus. Most of these poems are about Hildegard of Bingen being gay. So, the octopus dreams a living light. If she is dreaming, do I dream with her? A change, a color, her mantle flashing pale and dark, one right after the other. A pattern which signifies an action. She sees a crab, a dramatic moment. She dreams herself all dark, and like water I follow, work diligently, roaming when she leaves the bottom for a softer scene. You could almost narrate the body, a holiness, a harmony, perfect, no desire to rule over. Ardently she swims, sleeping to the shining surface of the dream. And you may wonder about these things, but you are not strong enough. You plead. Hildegard has like in her icons like this orange kind of god that looks like an octopus. They're dating. Yeah. Okay. into a wolf's mouth. If the spring goes muddy, if the fiend finds you, if like a restive sheep you follow, turn away from the flock, wander off into bramble, the throat of hell, sister, you are the stone, a tower. Consider your companions, confess your complaint, endure a brightness of vision, your heart bends to temptation. O sister, your flesh cries out, quiet strength. Under the darker layer, there was the purest of air. Blown by another turbulence, inside the circular object, the gloomy fire, the outer edge, a bright flame, a darker layer, a very large globe, a reddish fire, many clear spheres everywhere, and inside a shaking so horrible, full of sounds, storms, a shaking, a fire so great, a darker layer inside drew back into itself, a turbulence, a great deal of thunder spreading outward, anticipated, gave out moisture, a caressing rain with softness inestimable, gathered itself together, and again I heard, and again a voice gathered itself, moved me. I'm gonna read, these are quite short. I'll read a couple of these little definition things. Now I'm gonna skip to the love letters at the back. So Hildegard had a suspected lover, like many, for people in time, her companion Richardus. And so I wanted to imagine what she might write to her from the grave upon realizing that there's like a movie about them now. Yeah. So I did that. And those are the final three. So I'm just, they're 1, 2, and 3. Okay, there. No one knows for sure your body. Oh, tender shoot, young as I used to be. Your body 900 years after us, eager on screen, kneeling at my feet. You say you only want to be anywhere I am. The gravel rolls unsteady. The camera closes in. Your small mouth a sacrament in itself. And no one knows for sure the breath that passed between us. Knees bent, hair uncovered, we knelt. We worshipped the body. 2. They imagine your mouth an animal, hungry, twitching. I want to subordinate myself to you. Obedient creature, a voice like water, I wade, tread slow, speak the tide of each eye. Deep water surrounds me, and we are standing in a room of stone. And you ask again, will you take me? 3. Listen, O sister, I speak to you in spirit. My grief, a narrow bird, flies up to heaven. My grief destroys all consolation. Oh, why have you forsaken me? An orphan in your absence, feeble, a sinner. I mistake the sun for God. I look for you. O creature of light, I wither, desolate, my heart snatched from its chamber. O love, listen, remember me. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Christy. That was fantastic. I love Hildegard von Bingen. We sang her in my women's choir, and then we sang My God from Sister Act. It was like a nun theme. It was so funny. It was really, but her chants are so beautiful. Yeah. And that movie was trippy, but awesome. Those poems are great. Thank you so much. Next up is Christina Leo. Thank you, Bridget. Thank you, everyone. I
seeing people on Zoom, and I'm finally starting to meet them IRL. This has been amazing. Thank you all for coming out. I was trying to figure out, in the midst of the marathon, which poems to read. I think I know exactly what to open up with. I don't know what to close up with, but this poem is dedicated to Bridget and to the organizing team of the Boston Poetry Marathon. To paraphrase, perfectionism is a scourge of the patriarchy. So all these poems are from Metaphors Are Not Enough, which is an anthology that I'm proud to be included in from the Street Feed Women. But this poem is called Perfect. Perfect. I am never late. My cuticles push in, perfectly pink, crescent moons of smile and bow of my back. I acquiesce to all men and elders. I memorized the color wheel, not a drip of blood on white jeans. How is it that I've timed each giggle high and warbling, tuned to Christo? My orgasms always coincide with the other. I then make toast, shimmy up the stairs in black silk, scent redolent of mangoes and feathers. I never snore. Today, the sea calls herself by her own name. My voice contains gravel, opium, saxophones. The blood pulse at first, unfamiliar, forges on and on. To walk solitary on city streets, to smile for no one. What is this? This one's a childhood memory building up to China, which is also big in the news these days. So this is a Lunar New Year poem. I dreamt of blood red canary pages edged in saffron. One horizon, one dash. The pigeons outside a grime, a cracked glass overlooking Triborough Bridge. Our tribe warbled. I was always afraid of firecrackers each new year. I couldn't tell them apart from red envelopes, red badges, red shame on my face at the food stamps and lunch tickets. My sister and I never had strawberry jello until public school, quivering and intact in its artifice. We swallowed while fire crackled new animals, rams, tigers, pigs, dragons breathing into our small cavities, sharp tongues lashing on our faces, blood welts. This piece is entitled, and yes, it's still entitled, Untitled. That was a Freudian slip. Untitled. To bite into the juice of a dumpling, pork essence, leek forested, vapor burning tongue. I gritted through years, pretended to satiate my inchoate devastation, fright, into plain white rice, all the bullies and stomach aches hiding in gurgling, heaving laxatives, hurling the sun back to God. I didn't want penetration and the hot ache of genitals. I tried to deaden heat by iceberg lettuce, lemon water. I would have given anything to devour umami, chili garlic, lemongrass, you a life later, feeding me whole. I have a last piece, a slightly longer piece dedicated to my mother initially, but there were two things that struck me. One was, obviously since COVID, late 2019, 2020, the xenophobia in this country has been really terrible. In 2020, I was pretty gutted and terrified. I'm much less so now and just much more resolute. But in light of that, it's both an ode to my mother as well as, kind of a comment on the zeitgeist of our times and really redefining, this whole idea of the red state. But this poem is called Beyond China, and never thought I would be reading it in this context. So this is dedicated initially to my mother after a dream. You tell me you love my hair, its liquid darkness, flashing white halos, and you, its emanation. I tell you this darkness is a lie. The sea never knew darkness, but a depth beyond longing, far below reaching, where creatures swam in murkier fronds. No entanglements, the play of wholeness, the undividing of continents and countries. And there's this room like an echo, a silver temple waiting for deities to fill the stones with answers. And always there was my voice running after yours until each object was pierced by blue staccato, held breathless. As songs bounced off of each other, a refraction of pain, songs which held and did not give back, so filled with gravity were they. We were shamed and naked and searching each other in the astonished air. We were vulnerable like a mouth opening in December. Outside, hands were giant as beggars while they caught silver rain. There was a world in here, and that world was ours. China was an unbroken sky on the other side of the earth. China was the sound of rain before the sky would open, the sound flowers made before a storm, waiting for the dew to keep them that held intact, lest the separation of sky and earth became unbearable, lest the petals would not hold and disperse. You say that it's all the same longing. See how you press your body to the mirror, because the shock of recognition each time does not erase, and we are in danger of dispersing as petal to stem, a tower to the land, as sands to a devouring sea. Let's go to China one day so we can forget we ever ate, so that we may forget displacement. My own voice has always ran after yours. My own body finds itself tired from aching, so I say yes, because tonight everything is the sound of a flower drowned by rain. And you say that the room is turning silver. Each drop of rain holds a question mark, and the sky is beginning to wonder. China is slipping further away from us. I'm afraid I cannot remember. No, this room is dark like yesterday and last year and 1,000 years before us, when grievances were violent, the night yet whole. Go, but let me give you my face. Let your fingers give themselves to my body so that each may swell with the luxury of remembrance, because it is time which forgets so quickly, like water in fluid undulation in its liquid achingness. I would love you beyond China. I would love you beyond silver and desolation and secret places where the ground is swollen with remembrance and snow-capped mountains are wounded by starlight. Because in silver, in the tower, in the open hands of strangers, we still search in astonished air. My hair is still dark, and you are still its emanation. We are still in this room, in America, and not China, and there's nothing but falling rain. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all that you've done for organizing this year, Christina and Christina and Christina. Christina was also kind enough to donate the second poem she read to the Mass Bay Community College Library's Asian and Pacific American Heritage Month display online. So if you ever go to massbay.litguides.com/AAPI, I think it is. I put it together. I got a lot of people to donate poems to the library I work at for different things. So if you ever want to do that for any given month, I like to add those to the online displays. Okay, thank you so much. Next is Jonathan Bennett Bonilla.
Bridget, thank you to the organizers. Happy to be here reading in person. I'm going to read some new poems. Also,
Just cutting off the top of your head if you don't mind.
Oh.
It's okay.
Yeah. Oh, you're cool now.
So just really appreciating all the readings. That was really beautiful. Thank you. So this is titled, No, I Don't Have a Yes. I'm wearing the band, the bode, the wedding, the oath, the promise, the love, to hold through sickness, none to death. No, I don't have a yes to being owned, to being possessed. No, I don't have a yes to being someone else's, to being anyone else's, not even to being my own, not to being self-possessed. We're not ours, and we're not yours either. I can't see myself. I can't see myself not say myself. I can't see. But why do I want to see myself as I am? To accept myself as I am. I want to accept myself. Can I do that before accepting others as they are, things as they are? I want to accept what is, but I don't. How it is hurts. But does it have to? Or do I use it to hurt myself? Do I internalize its violence? Or is the violence what I don't express? Envelop my love, my darling, dear one. Envelope me. Envelop me. Surround me with your estuarial lips. Surround me with your horizontal lips. With both pairs of lips, surround me, my darling. Envelope. Obliterate me with your song, with your words, with your lips, oh my darling envelope. Envelop me, oh darling, envelope me in your nothingness, in your mystery of mysteries. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Up next is Ravi Gamble.
At my feet. Thank you so much. Deepest gratitude to the organizers and volunteers. What a labor of love this is, and how wonderful to be in a room together. It's just what a privilege. So I'd like to start with a poem that I wrote several years ago while I was attending the Honk Festival, that great anarchist street band thing in Somerville. It's called Pink Trombone. Oh, and the festival then coincided with the Senate confirmation of Brett Kavanaugh. It was going on right at the time. Pink Trombone. At the moment that the Senate hauled across the goal line, whistling down their dreary game plan to build a judicial bench where an incredible 1/3 of the men have been credibly accused of sexual injustices. In that moment, I was taking a picture of a pink trombone propped up in the crowd, while a ragged scarlet brass band from Chicago intoned, "There is power in a union." And across the square, a Brazilian drum corps from Somerville was laying down a beat braided through with sinew and joy, to which men in tutus and women in epaulets and spats were writhing and busting moves as if their lives depended on it, which now is likely true. And at the crafts table, kids were busy stenciling, "No human being is illegal," onto their backpacks. And the sun was slanting down through clear October skies onto a lone tuba player from New Orleans, flailing his dreads and pumping out a warm and blubbery bass line, as if he knew how hard it will be to ward off the chill that is to come. And I'd like to read 2 short poems from my chapbook from Lily Poetry Press. This is where I spent some time working on the border between Arizona and New Mexico, providing medical support for migrants who are passing through this really dangerous and highly militarized section of the Sonoran Desert. And this is the title poem, "A Can of Pinto Beans." Just below the ridgeline saddle, tossed to the side of the trail, lying dented among rocks, bleach label peeled back, and the downhill facing end of the can stabbed through by some Border Patrol agent's K-bar knife. A precise wound, moldering around the edges, with filaments wafting down the corners. No, there's streams of tiny ants crawling in and out, bearing flecks of nourishment away. This poem is called Hello Kitty Backpack, Ajo, Arizona. I came upon you 12 miles from the nearest paved road. Prim magenta bow over one ear, unblinking, facing up into noonday sun from your peppermint pink zippered pocket. Kitty, surely you must know all things in the desert fade and crack, but you seem serene, one paw raised, a demure shrug. It's 110 degrees today, hushed but for the pulse in my ears, the clink of a kicked rock. You are so petite. A change of clothes, a liter of water would overwhelm your empty belly. Kitty, I don't want to know the story of this destination. And as for your travel companion, so 2 short new poems, pretty brand new. This is called Obad with School Shooting. That we found each other late in our midlife passages, that no one could say just how this night unfolded, pure repose, air curling through the curtains, just cool enough to drink. Praise the air, breath, body, the small movements of sleep, and you in your body stirring, rising, and in another room somewhere, a boy buckling into his body armor. And last poem, it's called Bright Shiny Objects. My wife caught COVID days after NASA revealed the first image from its new telescope, concentric celestial shapes swelling majestically from the advent of time. And it dawned on me, the Big Bang was kind of a primordial sneeze, spraying matter out into the void to mutate into swirling coronal bodies. Anna will have to quarantine for a week, a gossamer tick on the celestial timescale. Meanwhile, I leave soup at her door, encouragements on her text feed. We are lucky to be stable, if luck has a quantifiable place in the cosmos. How to consider a scant 1 million dead against this image, which occupies only a grain of sand held up against the vault of the sky. How much could we have spent on a farther seeing public health system, a not so bright and shiny object? Could knowledge of our origins infect us with greater desire for a mutual future? Our love is racked by fever, a bone ache, and exhaustion. If love is detectable in this portal into the deep night skies, when will we taste it again? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rose Ramble. Up next is Mary Elizabeth Birnbaum.
Thank you, poets, for really beautiful poems. And thank you to the organizers who are the, true winners of the Boston Poetry Marathon. Okay, if it is a race. Okay, first note. Thank you. Despite the changing shape of moon's yearning, night pours in from the universe, overflowing the narrow trajectory of a one-way street. Cars cruise, owls drift, eyes lambent planets. In each hidden nest, time stills, sound deadens, until the sight swings away, shapes clear-cut. Our first saint, the one who fits in the palm of your hand, now opens the black egg, beak precise as compass, moon quickens the flood. In the sun's heart valve, deft fingers channel blood just within the skin of the horizon. In the pulsing capillary of song sparrow's throat hardens. The tiny tongue flaunts its word. The first note fills the shape of being and heightens sky. Pirate dollhouse shack. One, turn, and there's the sea dressing and undressing the continent. Slowly the tide comes in. A winter storm pushed the beach a mile away, flinging out ephemeral sandbar. Under summer gas flame skies, the North Atlantic is the color of twilight, glittering with fireflies. Beyond the salt, the wild lawns of seagrass, a line of McMansion's Monopoly toys. Up the beach, closer to the lighthouse, there's a place teenagers colonize like a treehouse, but treeless, only the bones of the tree set into the dune. Planks hammered into a rickety, open-walled shack, decorated with twists of driftwood and lobster boys, and two signs. One proclaiming Chatham Resist 2015, another almost illegible. Sharks, coyotes, mooncussers served here. And recently, two flags, tattered by hard wind. One stars and stripes, the other blue and yellow. 3, pirate dollhouse shack, healing memorial. How many have died today, I wonder, far away, disappearing into their pain, and an unstoppable wind, riptide, undressing them to bone. Bones are not nakedness any more than sand grains, and can't be destroyed, only buried, unburied, buried in the fluid universe. Quick note for this poem coming up. My husband had a head injury this spring, and there was bleeding on the brain, which put pressure and gave awful symptoms. And so he had to have brain surgery. So that's in case there's something mysterious here. Called the Siphon. I watch the sunset's loveliness, carried by long black maple limbs. A slash of light from a glass office building awakens an ache in my eyes. I'm afraid of losing sight of day's end. Retina weakening, of becoming blind. I'm afraid of losing you, my gaunt-faced old man, carrying our last light. Once fierce, intense, heedless, tireless, you left me behind so often, so many years, and now your sinews stiffen. And slow, you lose height, dim the flash of your temper. You shattered your immortality on last winter's ice. You say, I look in the mirror, I'm not what I was. I tell you, patience is a muscle. Gentleness is not weakness. You had to accept the siphon of your helpless blood that pressed on your will. You say, I let myself admit to myself I was afraid. I say, with my hands, tenderness, can I bring you the sway of the branch that carries you? Rooted, my worry and love, the tether holds. Last poem, Minutes of the Night Meeting. However deep I drink the night sky, it brews on, fragrant and bitter. It's too late to greet the shy bats dropping from twilight. Too early for the blue moon to have risen. All around are unseen antennae of twigs and grasses where insects play lazy music. I dip my feet in the invisible macadam path to map fissures in a miracle of steady rhythm. At Arboretum's edge, traffic's insect buzz, carapace, rubber shuffle of civilization's weird. I walk far from the myths of street lamps, heroic speeches, midnight blue screens. Behind me trail conversation fragments, fragile words lost in soft, flicking alien ears. I am drunk on an illusion of eternity, tenderly fingering each nervous star. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mary Elizabeth Birnbaum. Up next, we have Summer Gale.
Hi. I was kind of forced to be up here, but it's good to be pushed out of your comfort zone, so that's okay. So this first one is called Lazy River. I don't know who I want to be. I dream big and I dream small. I think what I should do and if it's the right call. Why spend money to be broke in the end? Why leave home when I have great friends? Will another path even take me? I've been stuck in this lazy river unchanging. A flow of bare minimum and as I fish for do's and do nots, rocks with rules I should abide, rocks that keep me stuck inside. This lazy river forever unchanging. This next one is called IU. And I don't like to say it, it feels forced, burning my throat as it comes up. I usually just say it as a response to when you say it. I like to think I show it. How do I show it? I call you when I feel like calling. I'll buy you a gift when I have the funds. I'll share my advice. It might come off harsh. My life may appear closed off. My time may feel rushed. And when I feel like you care, it's hard for me to know when you care. So it might seem like I don't. I try to reflect on what's being shown. Sometimes I need to hear that you even care when it's hard for me to say. I just hope you hear it. When I talk to you, when I walk with you, enjoy your presence. And when I'm not there, know I say it with all that I do. And then the last one I have is called The Pictures on the Wall. All right. They remind me of who I am and who I come from. They let me know who was there and who's still here. I watch the pictures on the walls like stories. I learn by watching others. They talk fondly and I can tell they care. Without these stories, walls would be bare. We walk down memory lane. I see people I know, and that's fun to point out. I see people I recognize, but just an unrecognizable version of themselves. I see those I'll never know, but with these stories, they are real persons. The pictures talk, they sit me down. They tell people's life stories framed out so well. Just a glimpse in time back when candy was a dime. I see a view that will never be mine, and that is fine.
For someone who just showed up to watch poetry and then was made to read poems by me because I'm like, do it, you gotta get out there. And that was really, really good. You're very brave and that was fantastic. Thank you so much. Yay, thank you to all our readers of the hour. And that would be Carmen Crassa, Christy Towers, Christina Liu, Jonathan Bennett Bonilla, Robbie Gamble, Mary Elizabeth Birnbaum, and Summer Gale. In our next segment coming up at 7 o'clock, Mary Buchinger, Maria Damon, Gail Batchelder, Martha McCullough, Kevin Gallagher, Suzanne Mercury, somehow Mina Loy, I don't know about that. We are going to be closing up, so make sure you take anything that you need with you. We're going to close up at around 5:15. What time is it? Yeah, around 5:15 for the dinner break, so make sure you have it with you. Thank you, everyone. And don't forget to donate, bostonpoetrymarathon.com. Press the donate button or press the, or go to the donate link. Thank you. Doors will be 6:40.